Chag Sameach. Have a Zisen Pesach. I'm Cantor David Berger from KAM Isaiah Israel, and this is our pre-recorded Seder for this crazy year of Passover, where we're all celebrating in such different and unprecedented ways. For this Seder, there's a few things you're going to want to have. I have in front of me a whole Seder plate. If you're lucky to have that, then get it all set up. Right, the classic items of our Seder plate, we have the maror, the horseradish, our roasted shank bone, our charoset. For the chazeret part, I put some endive, for karpas, parsley, and an egg that I've burned up a bit. We also have a little bit of salt water, Miriam's cup here with water in it, and Elijah's cup here with some wine in it, a kiddush cup. Behind me I have the matzah plate, I have candles. It's a lot of items to have. And if you want to pause if you're watching this on YouTube, you can pause the video and go get some stuff if you need it. The one thing you do for sure need in order for us to join together is our Haggadah. You may have seen a link for where you can download the Haggadah for today. If not, I'm going to come up and show you a link, and I'm hoping that the magic of flipping things will allow you to read this later. But right, you can see it says tinyurl.com/2020 Haggadah with 2 G's. If you go to there, you'll be able to download the Haggadah for this Seder, and we can join together page by page. And I've made it so that in that document are only the pages that we are going to be doing. It's pieces from the wonderful Haggadah called A Different Night, the compact edition by Noam Sion, which was generously made available this year for anyone who wants access to it in a year where so many of us are having a different kind of experience. Now, I'm going to be reading the Haggadah today from this little tablet, so you can print it out if you want, or do it from a tablet or a computer or a phone, however feels right to you. So I'm going to give you a minute to get yourself settled. If you have some items you want to get in front of you, I'm going to sing a quick nigun to bring us all into the spirit, and then we'll move on together. This is an old Lubavitch or Chabad melody for part of our weekday prayers. Mi Mitzrayim ge'altanu, from Egypt, God, you redeemed us. Umi beit avadim, from the house of slavery, pititanu, you saved us from that place. Beit avadim peditanu, mi Mitzrayim ge'altanu, mi beit avadim peditanu, mi Mitzrayim ge'altanu, mi beit avadim peditanu, mi Mitzrayim ge'altanu, mi beit avadim peditanu. Let's get right into our Seder. I hope you have in front of you everything that you need. We're going to go right in on the second page of the document. It says page 4 at the bottom with lighting the candles for Yom Tov. I've got my candles right here behind my head. We're going to say the 2 blessings. We're going to light the candles and say our 2 blessings so we can join together in the light of our festival. It's a trick match. I'm going to try a second match. There we go. Baruch atah Adonai Asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel yom tov. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. We bring the light of our festival into our lives in every different way together. We're going to go right on with, on page 6, the signposts of our Seder. Seder is everything put right in order. I'll just tell you, this year I'm feeling like my life is not in order. Everything is out of order. Everything is crazy. So for me this year, as I've been preparing for my Seder, coming back to these 15 steps over and over again, thinking about them, thinking about the sequence of how we walk from one thing to the other, has been very helpful. Has been very helpful in terms of helping me feel like I have something to hold on to, something firm. There's order, there's Seder. Sing these with me. Kadesh Urchatz Karpas Yachatz Magir Rochza Motzi Matzah Maror Korech Shulchan Orech Tzafon Barech Halel Nitzah. We'll come back to that melody a few times as we make our way through the Seder together. We're going to continue right on with our first step, Kadesh. Normally I would stand for Kiddush, but I think for the camera and everything, I'm going to stay sitting down. Feel free to sit or stand. Sing along with me as much as you want. You know, a friend of mine I was talking to said, the great thing about these streamed services is that you can sing. If you're not a great singer, you can sing along as loud as you want, and nobody's going to know. Nobody's going to know how out of key you are. I won't know. No one will know. Sing along with gusto. We make Kiddush. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'am, ורוממנו מכל לשון, וקידשנו במצוותיו, ותיתן לנו אדוני אלוהינו באהבה, מועדים לשמחה, חגים וזמנים לששון. את יום חג המצות הזה, זמן חירותנו, מקרא קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ומועדי קודשך, בשמחה ובששון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, מקדש ישראל והזמנים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אלוהינו מלך העולם, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Our first cup, a cup of sanctification. We're turning our homes into our holy spaces. And on Passover, that's the most natural thing. Passover is a home holiday. So it's exciting that together we get to share our homes in this year in a strange way, but still to note the fact that our homes have always been a sacred space. So this first cup of sanctification is one we mark together in a way of bringing ourselves into a space of holiness. We're going to continue on with Urchatz. I have to step off camera to wash my hands, but I promise you I'm going to be doing it. This ritual hand washing this time is done without a blessing, so we just go and we wash our hands. But first we have to sing the song. Ready? Kadesh Urchatz. Here we go. I'll be right back in 1 second. I'm going to wash my hands and come back for our next step. Oh, did you wash your hands? Okay. Believe it or not, we're already on to the third step of the Seder. Here we go. Let's remind ourselves of where we are, right? Kadesh Urchatz Karpas. Ooh, Karpas. So I always had parsley as my Karpas, but there's all sorts of different things you could use for Karpas. Potatoes, lettuce, all kinds of things that grow, because we're going to say the blessing, Borei Pri Ha'adamah. Now, in my family, we always called parsley nature's breath mint. So I'm going to invite you to take up a piece of karpas, and we dip our karpas in the salt water. And I have this little bowl of salt water in front of me to remind us of the tears, the difficulty of those years of slavery and oppression. So take a moment before you dip, before we enjoy the freshness of spring in this karpas. Remind yourself of the difficulty and the challenges and the tears that people cry in this world. Connect that to your memory, our collective memory. Later on our Seder, we're going to be saying, in every generation, each of us must experience this as if we ourselves departed Egypt. So I want you to take a moment, reach back into your collective memory. Remember what it was for a moment to be enslaved. And turn your attention then to the millions of people enslaved today who face oppression, uncertainty, who in this time, especially of coronavirus, are even more likely to face struggles, challenges, illness, possibly death. We hold their tears in with us. We dip our karpas. We say together, Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Borei Peri Ha'adamah. Oh, hold on 1 second. I heard a sound that needs to be turned off. Okay. Well, we're already at the next step. Kadesh Urchatz Karpas Yachatz. Yachatz, breaking the middle matzah. I have here my really beautiful matzah plate. I have a similarly beautiful matzah cover. And you can't see from where you are, but I promise you, it has 3 compartments. And I'm going to take out the matzah from the middle compartment. Here it is. And this matzah I'm going to break in half. The bigger piece of the half, I'm going to the smaller piece I'm going to return back to my container here. We'll see you later. The bigger piece, I'm going to put inside this special bag for the afikomen, which hopefully will make an appearance later. We'll see if I can find a way to hide it without you catching me. Do I have an idea here? Oh, it's gone. Let's continue on our way. We're already into the next thing, the next step, the longest step. Kadesh Urchatz Karpas Yachatz Magid, where we tell the story. Now the first thing we do is Magid, is we hold up a piece of matzah. Ooh, I just put it away. I'm going to come and take one out. I'm going to take out a piece of matzah, hold it up. We look at this matzah. We say these words. We'll sing them first in Aramaic, as they are here in the book, and then we'll come back and we will declare them together. Hold up your own matzah in your own house. Hold it in your hands. Look at it. Gaze upon it. We sing together. The words are on page 12. Halachma, halachma anya, di achalu, achalu avatana, beyara, beyara de Mitzrayim, beyara, beyara de Mitzrayim, kol dichvin yete veyechul, kol ditzrich yete veyifsach, hashata, hacha, l'shana ba be'ara de Yisrael, hashata avdei l'shana ba b'nei chorin. We read together, ha lachma anya. This is the bread of poverty and persecution that our ancestors ate in the land of Egypt. As it says in the Torah, 7 days shall you eat matzot, the bread of poverty and persecution, so that you may remember that you were a slave in Egypt. Let all who are hungry come and eat. Let all who are in need come and share the Pesach meal. This year, we are still here. Next year, in the land of Israel. This year, we are still slaves. Next year, free people. We continue on with the next piece of our Seder. Now, traditionally, this is said by the youngest child in the room. Now, I happen to be the youngest child in my family, and I guess I'm the youngest child in this room right now. So I hope everyone experiences yourself right now as the youngest around you, and we sing together. Here, so maybe I'll make it easier for you. We'll all do it with the guitar, and that way no one will have to feel. Everyone will feel more comfortable. Ma nishtana halayla hazeh mikol haleilot, mikol haleilot, shebechol haleilot hanu ochlin chametz umatzah, chametz umatzah, halayla hazeh. For so many questions, we're going to start to try to answer some of them. We look at the beginning of the page. The first answer is, Why is this night different from other nights? Because we're in the top of page 16. When in time to come, let's read together. Your children ask you, what is the meaning of the decrees, laws, and rules that Adonai our God has enjoined upon you? You shall say to your children, we were slaves to Pharaoh in Egypt, and Adonai freed us from Egypt with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. Adonai produced before our eyes great and awful signs and wonders in Egypt against Pharaoh and all his household. And God freed us from there, so that God could take us and give us the land that had been promised to us and to our ancestors. The more and the longer, says the bottom of this page, the more and the longer one expands and embellishes the story of our redemption, the more commendable. I think one of the most challenging stories we try to teach as a cantor, as a father, as an educator, we try to teach our kids and people generally, people who are converting to Judaism, people who are coming back to Judaism, that this story isn't just a one-time deal that happened thousands of years ago that we read about in the Torah, but this story is actually all of our story. I think this year we're all getting a sense of a story of confinement and, God willing, hopefully soon, liberation. And maybe we can dig into this a little bit. How does our own feeling now, the feelings of being cooped up, of so many things we can't do, so many places we can't go, so many things we had wanted to do that have suddenly been canceled, those things are so confusing and challenging, and they don't all make sense. We look for salvation, which sometimes might mean we look for someone to explain to us some way that this is all going to work out. I don't know. I have no answers, but I do know that this story, I come back to this story, that there was a time when things were terrible for us, for me, for my family. And it seemed intractable, it seemed impossible. It seemed like something we would never get out of. And God came and freed us with an outstretched hand, a mighty arm. And we walked to freedom and found a new life, a new way of being that we had never known. That is a story of Passover that I can connect to this year. We all have to tell our own stories in different ways. We're going to turn to page 18. One of my favorite short little melodies at the beginning of this page. And it doesn't have the transliteration as Hebrew, but I hope you can join with me. Baruch HaMakom Baruch Baruch Shenatan Natan Torah Shenatan Torah Yamo Yisrael Baruch HaMakom Baruch Baruch HaMakom Baruch Shenatan Natan Torah Shenatan Torah Yamo Yisrael Baruch HaMakom Baruch. The word we use for God there, makom, means God who is spacious, who is wide and expansive. God has taught us Torah in every kind of different way. God gave the Torah to the people of Israel, and we have to teach it, and we have 4 different children. This is our tradition that we have to teach it about. Keneged arba avanim dibra Torah Echad chacham ve'echad rasha ve'echad tam ve'echad she'eno yodea lishol. I put in our Haggadah today on page 31 an image of the four children that I've always found really compelling from a Haggadah made by the Rabbinical Assembly of America. It's a reminder that the ways we teach Torah to our children, to the four kinds of children, to, as our translation said, the wise, the wicked, the simple, and the one who does not know how to ask. There is no child who is wise. There is no child who is simple. We're all of them. And we are all of them at different times. Certainly in this situation this year, I have found myself feeling like I am wise, like I know something that's going on, because I read one more article in the newspaper than someone else. Sometimes I've felt like the person who's completely simple and I'm just totally confused and I'm looking around thinking, what is going on? Sometimes I'm the Rasha, the wicked one who wants to say, this has nothing to do with me, I'm just fine, I'm healthy, I'm strong, I don't need this. Sometimes I'm She'eno Yodea Lishol, the one who just doesn't even know what to ask. And I experience that with everyone around me. All of us are ping-ponging between all these different characters, hoping that we can embrace the different kinds of Torah that each one of them needs. And that's true of our story of redemption. Each one of us is always all four. None of us is all wicked. None of us is all simple. None of us is all wise, that's for sure. So maybe take a second and imagine for yourself, how have you been wise? How have you been wicked? How have you been simple? How have you been the one who doesn't know how to ask? Take all four parts into yourself. Appreciate them for the composite person you are. We're going to continue on page 35. V'hi she'amda. Remember, this is not the first time it's been hard for our people. V'hi she'amda reminds us that we've had trouble for a while. In every generation, there's some kind of struggle we face, and in every generation, we manage to find our way out of it. Hope you'll sing with me. It says in the book I'm supposed to raise up the matzah in the cup. I can't really do that while I'm playing guitar, so I figured you'll imagine the cup lifting up from the air, in the air. V'hi she'amda, v'hi she'amda, lavoteinu velanu, lavoteinu velanu, shelo echad bilvad, aman aleinu v'chaloteinu, shelo echad bilvad, aman aleinu v'chaloteinu, ela shebechol dor vador omdim aleinu v'chaloteinu, ela shebechol dor vador omdim aleinu v'chaloteinu, ve'hakadosh baruch hu matzileinu biyadam, ve'hakadosh baruch hu matzileinu biyadam. We'll read together. This promise, now I can lift it up, has stood for our parents and for us in good stead. For not just one enemy has stood against us to wipe us out, but in every generation there have been those who have stood against us to wipe us out. Yet the Holy One, blessed be God, keeps on saving us from their hands all the time. The central moment where our Seder tells the story. Funny, the Haggadah barely tells the story of Passover. It's really almost not there at all in this book. But here's the one moment. And what's funny is that it's actually, in the Torah, this portion is about the festival of Shavuot. that when an Israelite would come and bring their first fruits to the priest, their bikurim, it wasn't just a simple ritual of handing a basket. You came before the priest to the temple. You said this whole statement here, and it goes actually on beyond what we have here in the Haggadah. And there's an interesting tradition, and I think this is really relevant to the way a lot of us feel in our approach towards Judaism. The rabbis say that originally it was the case that people who came up to the priest to offer their fruits and they were able to recite this paragraph, that they would say it themselves. And then the people who couldn't say it for themselves, because maybe they didn't know Hebrew, maybe they weren't so versed in it all, maybe they were a simple farmer, maybe they didn't know how to read at all, that there would be a special priest who would stand there and would say it for them. But then at a certain point, it became like a competition, like who knows how to say it and who doesn't, and it got gross. It turned into a hierarchy of who knows what and who doesn't. And they wanted this moment of bringing Bikurim to be sacred and holy for everyone, and no one should be feeling victorious in it. No one should be feeling humbled and embarrassed by it. So they made a decision that no matter how learned, no matter how beautiful your Hebrew is, no matter how great of a singer you are, nothing. Every single person who came up to the priest holding their basket of first fruits, this phrase would be recited on their behalf so that everyone would be able to partake in this mitzvah equally. What a value. What a story of how, even in our own tradition, in our rabbis thousands of years ago, a ritual that could have turned into something embarrassing and challenging, something that is the opposite of freedom, that ritual turned into something of beauty and an equalizer and a kind of liberty for all, that everyone could share in this mitzvah, bring their humble fruits together to the temple and tell this story about themselves. I would like you all to read the story with me. We're going to start where it says, "Today I will tell." We read together. "Today I will tell Adonai our God how I have come to the land Adonai swore to our ancestors to give to us. My ancestor was a wandering Aramean. He descended to Egypt and resided there in small numbers. He became a nation, great, powerful, and numerous. The Egyptians treated us badly. They persecuted us and put us under hard labor. We cried out to Adonai, the God of our ancestors. God heard our voice. God saw our persecution, our toil, and our oppression. God took us out of Egypt with a strong hand and an outstretched arm, with awesome power, signs, and wonders. God brought us to this place and gave us this land, a land of milk and honey. Now I have brought the first fruits of this soil, which you, God, gave to me." The full Haggadah then breaks up this phrase and defines each step of it in beautiful midrash-style detail. I thought we would look at one piece of it, this piece about resignation to resistance. You'll find it on page 41. It's the page number at the bottom. "Vanitzak el Adonai Elohei avotenu vayishma Adonai et kolenu vayar et onyenu ve'et amalenu ve'et lachatzenu." We cried out to Adonai, the God of our fathers. God heard our voice. God saw our persecution, our toil, and our oppression. So the Midrash tells us, here in our Haggadah, we cried out to Adonai, and that was the turning point, it says. That's where things changed. When we cried out, God heard our cries. And it's interesting, it's not the word prayer It doesn't say we prayed to God, we spoke to God, we sang to God. It says we cried out. Look at this little piece at the bottom here of the page. The power of a groan. Hasidic Rebbe of Gur says, the sigh, the groan, and the crying out of the children of Israel from the slavery was the beginning of redemption. As long as they did not cry out against their exile, they were neither worthy nor ready for redemption. There is no positive value, says this Rebbe of Gur, in being a robot who doesn't groan and doesn't feel and doesn't cry, and in taking the what you get. The value is in appreciating your own human experience and turning your groans and your cries into a kind of prayer. Your groans and your cries and your moments of discomfort. When you cry out, who do you think you're crying out to? The universe, the spirit of the world, crying out to God. It's been a helpful thought for me because I don't have a prayer sometimes for all that's going on now, but I do have groans and cries. We can experience that together. Our cries out to God are a prayer that God, please, is hearing and can bring us redemption. We've come to our 10 plagues, to these 10 moments, these 10 different ways that God wrought our redemption. I'll invite you to take out I always do it with my pinky. Take out your pinky. I need a little extra juice in order to reach it with my pinky. My cup is very large. So, here we go. There we go, a little extra wine. Repeat after me when we get to that part. Eilu eser makot shevi HaKadosh Baruch Hu al Mitzrayim ve'eilu hein. You ready? Dam Tzefardea Kinim Arov Daven Shechin Barad Arben Choshech Makat Bechorot. 3 more drops to do. Rabbi Yehuda Yanoten Bahem Simanim Datzach Adash Be'achav. We continue on our road towards redemption. We're going to sing Let My People Go. We'll find the words at the bottom, page 47. When Israel was in Egypt land, let my people go. Pressed so hard they could not stand. Let my people go. Go down, Moses, way down in Egypt's land. Hello, Pharaoh, let my people go. down in Egypt's land. Hello, Pharaoh, to let my people go. Oh, from one great song to the next. We're going to remind ourselves that actually every little privilege, every little thing that we have enjoyed, each one of them by itself would have been enough. It's a hard thing to remember. We're so used to saying in life, oh, I have this, I have that, oh, I just need one more thing. Dayenu is our song reminding ourselves that actually every piece of the redemption, every individual bit of our people's journey from slavery all the way to the land of Israel, each piece is its own miraculous thing deserving thanks, and that each one of them by itself would have been enough. Let's sing together. Now the words in the book are a little different. We're going to sing it the way we all know it. Ilu Hotzianu, Hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, Hotzianu mi Mitzrayim, Dayenu, 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 Ilu natan lanu et haTorah. God has only given us the Torah. Ilu natan lanu et haTorah, natan lanu et haTorah, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. If only God had given us Shabbat, Ilu natan lanu et haShabbat, Ilu natan lanu et haShabbat, natan lanu et haShabbat, Dayenu, 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 Dayenu. Oh, it's good. We're going to join together reading on page 51 to remind ourselves of all these great wonders that God worked for us. Each one of these good things would have been enough to earn our thanks, Dayenu. God took us out of Egypt, punished the oppressors, and humiliated their gods, exposing their futility. God killed their firstborn when the Egyptians refused to release Israel, God's firstborn. And they gave us some of the Egyptians' wealth, just compensation for our labor. God divided the Red Sea for bringing us across on dry land while drowning our pursuers on the sea. God supplied our needs for 40 years in the desert, feeding us on manna. God granted us Shabbat and brought us to Mount Sinai to receive the Torah. God ushered us into Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, and later built us a temple, a chosen place to atone for our crimes and misdemeanors. We're going to turn from the story of Passover a little bit to these symbols on the table in front of me. Pesach, Matzah, Maror. As Rabban Gamliel used to say, I'm on page 52. All who have not explained the significance of these three things during the Pesach Seder have not yet fulfilled their duty. The three are Pesach, the Pesach lamb, the matzah, and the maror. Okay, it says leader points at but does not raise, but I'm going to raise it because I don't know if you can see it on your screen. Here it is, my Pesach, my Zeroah. Pesach al shum ma, the Passover lamb. Why did we used to eat it? To remind ourselves that God passed over. Al shum she pasach hakadosh baruch hu, passed over our ancestors' houses in Egypt at this very hour on this very date. Moshe already told us, when your children ask you, what do you mean by this ceremony? You shall say it is the Pesach, the Passover offering to Adonai, because God passed over the houses of Israel in Egypt when God struck the Egyptians, but saved our houses. Matzah al shum ma, my matzah here. What do I have that for? to remind ourselves that even before the dough of our ancestors in Egypt had time to rise and become leavened, the King of Kings, the Holy One, blessed be God, revealed himself and redeemed them. Torah says, they baked unleavened cakes of the dough that they had taken out of Egypt, for it was not leavened since they had been driven out of Egypt and could not delay. Nor had they prepared any provisions for themselves. Maror al-shuma. I have some little cut-up pieces. I don't know if you can see it very well. Little cut-up pieces of horseradish here. Why do we eat maror, these bitter herbs? To remind ourselves that the Egyptians embittered our ancestors' lives. They embittered their lives with hard labor, with mortar and bricks, and with all sorts of field labor. Whatever the task, they worked them ruthlessly. I think this next line on page 54 is potentially the most important line in the whole Haggadah. As I've said before, B'chol dor vador, in every generation. So I want you to imagine the generations that came before you. Imagine your great-grandparents. Maybe you yourself came here to this country from facing oppression. The journeys we've all been through. The journeys each of us have reached in our own lives. Maybe you've found a way in your own life to journey from a place of depression and darkness or oppression and sadness to a place of happiness. Maybe you're still midway through that journey. In every generation, we walk this path, individually and together. So let's read together. In every generation, one is obligated to see oneself as one who personally went out of Egypt, just as it says, "You shall tell your child on that very day, it is because of this that God did for me when I went out from Egypt." And not only were our ancestors redeemed by the Holy Blessed One, but even we were redeemed with them. Just as it says, God took us out from there in order to bring us and to give us the land that God swore to our ancestors. A new song, Hallelujah, we sing together. It's the very last line of the Hebrew on the page. If you don't know the Hebrew, don't worry. You're going to catch it real fast because there's only one word really for most of it. And I want you to sing with me, V'nomar lefanav shira chadasha. God took us from slavery to freedom, from sorrow to joy, from mourning to festivity, from thick darkness to a great light, from enslavement to redemption. V'nomar lefanav shira chadasha. V'nomar lefanav shira chadasha. V'nomar lefanav shira chadasha. V'nomar lefanav shira chadasha. Make sure you have a cup ready and full. Hineni muchan muzuman lekayem mitzvat kos sheni shel arba kosot. This cup, the cup of redemption, a little bit of a cup of memory also. Oh, our first cup was a cup of sanctification. This cup, we take a moment to mark the ways in which we ourselves have experienced redemption. We feel in our hearts, how have we experience God as our Redeemer. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who redeemed us and redeemed our ancestors from Egypt, and who brought us to this night to eat matzah and maror. Adonai, our God and God of our ancestors, may you bring us in peace to future holidays. May we celebrate them in your rebuilt city, May we be able to eat the Pesach lamb and the other sacrifices offered on the altar. We will thank you for our redemption. Baruch atah Adonai, blessed are you, Ga'al Yisrael, Redeemer of Israel. We sing together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. At the bottom of our page here, we have a note here about the cup of Miriam. And I have one here on my table, a cup of simple water. There's lots of different rituals that have been developed around the cup of Miriam. Some people put it right near where we talk about Elijah's cup. This particular moment, this moment of focusing on redemption. Miriam's cup is filled with water because it's, according to Midrash, that Miriam had a special well that followed her through the desert, that provided the Israelites with the life-giving water that they needed to sustain them on the journey through those 40 years. So I want you to take a moment, think about what has given you life, sustenance. What is it that you have been able to depend on, like water, to keep you vital? I'm going to drink a little bit of this water, remembering for myself the sources of my own strength, the things that have been important to me. The ways that I've experienced redemption. We're going to continue on our journey together. Rachza. Oh, we're back into our pieces here, so we better sing the song. Kadesh urchatz, karpas yachatz, magi rachatza. Time for hand washing. I have to get up to wash my hands again. I'll be back in a minute. If you need to go wash your hands, go take care of that. I'll see you in 1 second. I'll say the blessing. You'll hear me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al netilat yadayim. Oh, you're still here. I feel like Mr. Rogers getting up and walking in. Okay, we're already at the next step. Kadesh urchatz, karpas yachatz, magid rachza, motzi matzah. I'm going to take out my piece of matzah. We're going to join together in saying, Hineni muchan mzuman lekayem mitzvat achilat maror. Achilat matzah, it should say. Ooh, there's a typo in our Haggadah. Here I am ready to perform the mitzvah of eating matzah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lecha min haaretz. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al achilat matzah. Now, you can actually, at this moment, if you want to, take a little bit of charoset with your matzah. Okay, here comes the extreme part. Now, some people like to do the maror. That's my son knocking on the door. Matan, not right now, baby, okay? Thank you. Some people like to use the beet, the maror with the beets. I go for the pure item, the horseradish, straight from the branch. Hineni muchan muzuman lekayem mitzvat achilat maror. Here I am, ready to perform the mitzvah of eating maror. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al achilat maror. Wow. Okay. That's the maror. Okay. Our final moment here before we have our meal. Kadesh orchatz karpas yachatz magid rochta motzi matzah maror korech. The Hillel sandwich. Zeichel mikdash kilel. Kein azah Hillel bisman shebet hamikdash haya kayam. Haya korech pesach matzah maror ve'ochel biachad. L'kayem ma shene'emar. Amatzot merarim yochlu. What you may notice is that what the Torah says and what we do are different here. Or with the text we just said, we do not make a sandwich of the Pesach, the matzah, and the maror. But we do the sandwich of, at least in my family, we do some matzah, some charoset to help ourselves out, and one more little bite of maror in there. Put it as a sandwich and chow down. Oh, that's some maror in there. Okay, last piece here. Kadesh urchatz karpas yachatz magid rochza motzi matzah maror korech shulchan orech. Our 10th step is a meal. Now, if you are watching this on a YouTube video, you might just pause and come back after you've had some food. If you're watching this on a TV screen somewhere, I'm going to eat a little bit of matzah. I'm going to sing a quick nigun. I'm going to eat a little bit while we're singing the nigun. This is a nigun of Mujitz Chasidim. I always think of this as one of my Pesach. Pesach is a very busy holiday. It's a busy nigun. The end of the nigun will continue on. We have something we have to find here. Before we can continue on, we have to find, we have Safun. Oh, I didn't give you a page for it. Sorry. Safun are finding the Afikomen. Something has been hidden here. Now, wait, can you see it yet? There it is! Oh my God! The Afikomen! Our hidden piece that is the end of our meal. So we're going to say, Kadesh urchatz karpas yachatz magid rochza motzi matzah maror koresh shulchan orech tzafun. The hidden thing comes out. Take my last bite from our afikomen. Our special dessert, barech. We're going to sing together Shir Hamalot. Make sure you have some juice in your cup if you need a refill. Before you do Barech, make sure you have some juice for your next cup. We'll sing together on page 64. Shir Hamal B'Shuv Adonai Et Shivat Zion Ayinu Kecholmim Az Yemales Chok Pinu Uleshonenu Rina Az Yom Ruva Goyim Higdil Adonai Lasot Yimele Higdil Adonai Lasot Yimanu Ayinu Semechim Shuv Adonai et Shiviteinu Kafikim B'Negev Hazor im Bedim Berin Hayitzoru Haloch Yelechu V'Cho Nosei Meshech Hazara Bo Yavo Verina Nosei Alumotav. The bottom of page 65. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hazan et haolam kulo betuvo bechen bechesed uvrachamim hu noten lechem lechol basar ki leolam chasto uvtuvo hagadol Tamid lo chasalanu ve'yarich salanu mazon le'olam va'ed ba'avur shemo hagadol ki hu elzanim farnes la'kol umetiv la'kol umechin mazon lechol beriotav asher bara baruch atah Adonai hazan et hakol. We're going to continue with our third cup. Raise it into the air. This is a cup. This third cup, you're going to find the text for the third cup on page 67. And this third cup is a cup of blessing. A cup that comes right on the heels of thanking God for all that we've enjoyed. So take a moment. Our first cup was sanctification. Our second cup was a cup of redemption. Now this cup is a cup of blessing, a moment to give gratitude and thanks for the blessings we've all enjoyed and we continue to enjoy together. So imagine something you are grateful for, a blessing you have enjoyed. We say together, Hinani Muchan Muzuman, Lekayem Mitzvat Kos Shlishi Shal Arba Kosot. Here I am, ready to perform the mitzvah of the third cup of wine, which concludes this Pesach meal. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Seder is the time when we hope, pray for not only the redemption of the past that we remember, but also pray for redemption of the future. We open our door. I could open the door, you wouldn't see it. You open our door, open our homes, open the doors of your heart. Imagine Eliyahu Hanavi, Elijah the prophet, coming. Here's his cup. Right, the magic was always that if you put it out at the beginning, then at the end of the meal you find it slightly lower. Find that Elijah has come to join in our Seder meal. The hope for a future redemption is always there. Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimera. Kadesh Urchatz Karpas Yachatz Magid Rochza Motzi Matzah Maror Korech Shulchan Orech Zafun Barech Hallel. Right? We did Zafun Barech Hallel, are almost to the end, 14th of the 15 steps. Now we're gonna sing. Hallel means a time of praise, saying gratitude, saying thank you. So if you're not a great Hebraist, don't worry. It's a lot of Hebrew on this next page where it says, page 71 at the bottom. All you have to sing is 3 words. Ki le'olam chasto. Ki le'olam chasto. I'll sing all the other lines. You sing along with me. Ki le'olam chasto. Hodu l'Adonai ki tov. Ki le'olam chasto. Hodu le'Elohei ha'Elohim. Ki le'olam chasto. Hodu l'Adonai ha'Adonim. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'osei nivlot g'dolot le'vado. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'osei hashamayim b'tmuna. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'roka ha'aretz al hamayim. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'osei orim g'dolim. Ki le'olam chasto. Et hashemesh l'amshel bayom. Ki le'olam chasto. There's more words you can fit. Et ha'arech v'chachamim l'shalom v'layla. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'makei matzrayim b'v'chorev. Ki le'olam chasto. Ve'yotzei Yisrael mitocham. Ki le'olam chasto. V'yad chazaka v'zroa netuya. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'gozer yam sov l'gzarim. Ki le'olam chasto. Ve'em Yisrael b'tocho. Ki le'olam chasto. V'ni'er maro v'chelo ve'am sov. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'molicha mo b'midbar. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'makei malachim gedolim. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'harog melachim adirim. Ki le'olam chasto. Le'sichon melech ha'amori. Ki le'olam chasto. Ule'og melech ha'bashan. Ki le'olam chasto. Ve'natan otzam nachala. Ki le'olam chasto. Nachala Yisrael avdo. Ki le'olam chasto. Shem shivleinu zachalanu. Ki le'olam chasto. V'yifrekeinu mitzareinu. Ki le'olam chasto. Noten lechem lechol basar. Ki le'olam chasto. Hodu le'el hashamayim. Ki le'olam chasto. We come to our final cup, a cup full of hope for the future. We've had our cup of sanctification, our cup of redemption, our cup of gratitude, and now a cup that is all filled with hope. A cup looking forward for when we are able to again walk out free in our wide expanse. A cup looking forward to a world where people don't fight each other anymore. A world that doesn't understand why you would go to war. A world where all people of all types and all kinds and all shapes and colors and identities are free. We drink this cup to a future that is better than the present we know. We sing together. We lean to the left. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Believe it or not, our Seder is more or less officially done. But I thought we would sing some of the fun songs at the end together. We'll start with the most classic, Adir Hu. It's on page 75. Let's just sing a few verses so we feel... I love this melody. God is adir, sweet, precious. God is bachur. God is gadol. It's an aleph bet of praise for all the things that God is. That God will rebuild the temple. We may not need the temple exactly rebuilt, but we need a world where something so divine, something so perfect could exist. A world that could contain God's sanctuary. When we say build the third temple, we mean build a world where God's divinity can reside amongst us. Adirhu, Adirhu, Yivnei Beito Bekaro, Bimheira, Bimheira, Deyameinu Bekaro, El B'nei, B'nei Beitcha Bekaro, Bachur Gadol, Dagol, Yivnei Beito Bekaro, Bimheira, Bimheira, Deyameinu Bekaro, El B'nei, B'nei Beitcha Bekaro. Should we do one more? Hold on, my screen went black. Here you go, third verse. Adurhu, Atikhu, Zakaihu, Yivnei Beito Bekaro, Bimheira, Bimheira, Deyameinu Bekaro, El B'nei, B'nei Beitcha Bekaro. Oh, I love that song. Okay, now we got one last song. I was trying to decide, maybe I made the wrong choice for you, between Echad Miyodea and Echad Gadya. I made the choice for Echad Miyodea. Who knows one? I hope I made the right choice for you. All the symbols, all the counting, all the thoughts together. In my husband's family, they really love to do with fingers. The problem is I'm here by myself, so when we get above 10, we're going to have to be creative. But here we go. Join with me. Echad Miyodea, Echad Miyodea, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba Shamayim Uva'aretz, Shnayim Miyodea, Shnayim Ani Yodea, Shnei Luchot Abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba Shamayim Uva'aretz, Shlosha Miyodea, Shlosha Ani Yodea, Shlosha Avot Shnei Luchot Abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba Shamayim Uva'aretz, Arba Miyodea, Arba Ani Yodea, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shnei Luchot Abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba Shamayim Uva'aretz, Chamisha Miyodea, Chamisha Ani Yodea, Chamisha Chumshei Torah, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shnei Luchot Abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba Shamayim Uva'aretz, Shisha Miyodea, Shisha Ani Yodea, Shisha Sidrei Mishnah, Chamisha Chumshei Torah, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shnei Luchot Abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba Shamayim Uva'aretz, Shiva Miyodea, Shiva Ani Yodea, Shiva Yemei Shabta, Shisha Sidrei Mishnah, Chamisha Chumshei Torah, Arba Imahot, Shlosha Avot, Shenei Luchot Abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba Shamayim Uvaretz. Shmona mi yodea, Shmona ani yodea. Shmona yemei milah, Shiva yemei shabta, Shisha sidrei mishnah, Chamisha chumshei Torah, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shenei luchot abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba shamayim uvaretz. Tisha mi yodea, Tisha ani yodea. Tisha yerchei leda, Shmona yemei milah, Shiva yemei shabta, Shisha sidrei mishnah, Chamisha chumshei Torah, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shenei luchot abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba shamayim uvaretz. Asara mi yodea, Asara ani yodea. Asara dibraya, Tisha yerchei leda, Shmona yemei milah, Shiva yemei shabta, Shisha sidrei mishnah, Chamisha chumshei Torah, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shenei luchot abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba shamayim uvaretz. Achad asar, I can't do it. Oh, I need a finger. Oh, here we go. Achad asar mi yodea, Achad asar ani yodea, Achad asar. Kochvaya, Asara dibraya, Tisha yerchei leda, Shmona yemei milah, Shiva yemei shabta, Shisha sidrei mishnah, Chamisha chumshei Torah, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shenei luchot abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba shamayim uvaretz. Shnei masar mi yodea, Shnei masar ani yodea. Shnei masar shivtaya, Achad asar kochvaya, Asara dibraya, Tisha yerchei leda, Shmona yemei milah, Shiva yemei shabta, Shisha sidrei mishnah, Chamisha chumshei Torah, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shenei luchot abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba shamayim uvaretz. Shlosha asar mi yodea, Shlosha asar. I don't know if this works. Ani yodea, Shlosha asar midaya, Sheva asar shivtaya, Chad asar kochvaya, Asara dibraya, Tisha yerchei leda, Shmona yemei milah, Shiva yemei shabta, Shisha sidrei mishnah, Chamisha chumshei Torah, Arba imahot, Shlosha avot, Shnei luchot abrit, Echad Eloheinu, 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 Sheba shamayim uvaretz. Oh, our Seder has officially come to Nirtzah. Kadesh urchatz, karpas yachatz, magid rochta, motzi matzah, maror korech, shulchan orech, tzafun barech, halel nirtzah. We're all the way at the very end of our Seder. Chasal Sidur Pesach, concluded, is this Pesach Seder, finished down to the last detail, with all its laws and customs, as we have been able to conduct this Seder, even under these kinds of conditions. So may we someday perform it in Jerusalem. Zach shochen meuneh, pure one who dwells in the palace, support your congregation countless in number. May you soon lead the offshoots of your stock, bringing the redeemed to Zion in joy. We sing together. בירושלים בשלום, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, לשנה הבאה בירושלים, שנה הבאה בירושלים בשלום. Next year in Jerusalem in peace. Thank you for joining me for our very unique and different kind of Seder this year. May you have a sweet Zisen Pesach, a year of liberation, a year of experiencing redemption, a year where all of us, please God, will go from these narrow places out into the wide expanse. Chag Sameach. Thank you for joining me.